Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this episode we are going to create a custom leaderboard animation in React Native using Reanimated. This is going to be a two-step animation. Initially, the first step, we are going to create this entering animation using reanimated layout animation for each individual avatar, and when the last avatar has entered the scene, we are going to kick another animation to animate the bars. As a bonus, I'm gonna show you how to animate the background for the first place, and without further ado, let's go to the VS Code and start building this animation, shall we? Alrighty guys, so we are in VS Code here. So I have created a boilerplate using Expo. I'm using TypeScript and Reanimated. So let's start by creating a new file, leaderboard.tsx, and I'll say export default function leaderboard. I'll return a view, and inside the view I'll say text leaderboard. Go back to the app and render here leaderboard. Okay, this is how it is. Now I will need some users, right? So let's start by defining the collection of users. So we have users here, so it's Alice, Bob, Charlie, whatever, and each individual user has a name and a score. And we need to iterate over those users and render like a place, let's say a custom component. So let's do that now. So inside this leaderboard, let me remove the leaderboard. I will have users. So for each individual user, I'm rendering a text, add a key, and I'll say username and user score. So far so good, but let me refactor this into its own component. So I'll say here, I'll say this is a place, and the place is going to have a key as index, and I'll say the user, it's user. Okay, and let's create this component here. So function place is going to accept some props and is going to return the user and user, right? So I'll have a type place props, it's equal to user, it's a type of user 0, so it's going to be name and score. So this place, it's place props, and I'll have user. Okay, hit save, nothing should change, but now I'll have this reusable component. So we can apply animations, we can apply a lot of things, right? I know for a fact that this is going to be like a random avatar. So let me create here some constants. I'll have an avatar size. Let's start with 28, and let me create the avatar inside the place, right? So place is going to have a view. This view is going to have an image that's coming from React Native. I'll apply a source. URI is going to be like a random avatar. With the user, it's user.name. Let me also style this, so I'll have it a flex one and a border radius avatar size. And I need to wrap this into a view and say here style is going to be with its avatar size, aspect ratio, and so on. So this is going to render the avatars. Great, let me make those avatars smaller. So now hit refresh. We have the avatars. Great. So here where we are rendering the users, let me wrap this into a view. I'll have here some styling. So flex direction of row, gap of spacing, and let's define the spacing. It's equal to 4. Gap. Comma was missing, so we have the avatars, and as you can see, those are just straight away rendered. right? And we would like to use reanimated layout animation so we can perform some entering animations, basically mounting the avatar. So we can define here the view itself. That's basically each individual avatar can be an animated view that's coming from Reanimated, and we can add here an entering that's going to be fade in from right. And if I hit save, woof, you see this is moving now. So when they are going to be mounted, we are going to mount them with a fade in right. It's basically coming from right to left. The only thing that's bothering me now is, first of all, the stagger. So they now appear all at once, but I would like to apply a small delay in between entering animations. And this is also called stagger. So here I'll apply a delay, and the delay can be calculated based on the index of each individual avatar. So in order to do so, we need to pass the index. So index, and now we will have the index as a number and get it from here in index and apply a delay. And the delay is going to be a stagger duration multiplied by the index. And the stagger can be it's 50, let's say, right? So now when I hit save, it's going to apply a small delay between each individual animation. So if I set to 100 milliseconds, you'll see poof, 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 poof. So they will appear one after the other. Cool. That's actually quite nice. Yeah. And I will also like to add a springify effect. So adding a springify, you see how this is looking like, but with a different damping, 80, and stiffness of 200. My favorite numbers for, you see, they appear really fast. Okay. Now the thing is that when everything has rendered, basically when the last avatar has entered the scene and has finished the animation, I would like to kick another animation. So showing the bars. And to do so, we can go here to each individual user and add a callback. And I'll say when finished, callback. So I'll do something like console log has finished, then the index, right? And on finish, it's better. Okay, create this callback, and I would like to make it optional, because the reason being that I would like to call this whenever it's actually available. So I would like to have it available only for the last avatar. So I'll say here, if index is equal to users length -1, then I would like to send a callback, otherwise it's null. Okay, and here I'll receive this on finish, and I have here with callback, which is a method that's running actually on the UI thread. So I'll receive here finished, and I'll check if it's finished and we have the on finish callback, call on finish. Unfortunately, this is going to crash the app, and the reason is because we're trying to run callback on the JavaScript side from the UI thread, and in order to bypass that, we need to inform Reanimated, hey, you should run this on finish callback on the JavaScript side, because we are still on the UI thread, right? So I will say here run on JS this method and call it right away. Now hit save, refresh the page, and now if I open up the terminal, you'll see has finished number 6. So to ensure that everything is working, let me comment 3 different avatars and hit refresh, and now it should say 3. Great. So let me bring back those little guys as well. So now we have a callback saying, hey, the animation has finished. So poop, 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 poop has finished. And kick another animation. And to do so, we actually need to create a shared value. So I'll say anim, it's a use shared value that's going to start from 0. So we are going to animate from 0 to 1, and then we are going to interpolate that. But we are going to change this shared value only when the animation has finished. So here, when we receive the callback, we are going to say anim value is going to be 1. And also for each individual place and this animation. So animation value is going to be anim, and go to the types and say here it's a shared value, that's a number, right? So we are going to receive this animation value. And what we can do with it, well, the thing is that now we don't have any timing function applied to this animation or shared value, right? So it's going to go right away from 0 to 1, or whatever the value that we have set here is, right? And the reason is because I would like to control the animation inside each individual avatar component here. And to do so, to apply a timing function to the previous value to the new value, we can create a derived value. So derived value, inside this place, I'll say here another anim, it's a useDerivedValue, and I can return here a timing function, and I'll say withSpring, go to the animation value that you've just received as a prop, and again I'll say dumping 80, stiffness is 200, right? So this anim value now, even though we have changed the initial animation value from 0 to 1 right away, it's just animation value, it's equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't matter. This derived value is going to return a new shared value, but this time we have applied the spring as a timing function to it, right? So instead of moving from 0 to 1 right away, is going to apply a spring effect to that transition. So from 0 to 1 with the timing function. The cool thing about this one is that we can actually return a delay as we did with the Stagger here, right? So we can say with delay, it's again Stagger multiplied by the index, apply this delay to the spring animation. Now with this anim value, or animation value, we can create some styles. So also styles, it's equal to useAnimatedStyle, and here we can return something. Let's say we know the score, right? So we can say, you know, let's create a new height, why not? Which is the score multiplied by 2 or 3, okay? So I'll say here height, it's equal to user.score multiplied by 3 multiplied by the animation value, and this is going to go from 0 to this value, right? Because it's remapping it. The same thing we could do is interpolate the animation. Let me rewrite this, so we can say, you know, it's interpolate the animation value from 0 to 1, because this is the interval that this animation value is going to go from and to, and we can say the same, right? User score and the animation. Interpolate is not defined, of course, import interpolate. So it's going to be basically the same. Hopefully this makes sense. Now we have a style that's moving from 0 to user score multiplied by 3, which is great. And how we can do this? Well, you know, we can create here a view. So we'll have here an animated.view. As a style, we'll say let's do background color, it's gold, okay, and we can apply width of avatar size and height of avatar size, again avatar size, So we have this one here, but this can be an array, and also apply the styles. So now if I hit refresh, you'll see, you see? This is great. Well, the problem is that, as you can see, there are a lot of layout shifts going on. And the reason is that, you know, this particular rectangle is going to grow the container size. So in order to fix that, we can actually render the avatar inside this view. Now hit save, and we are going to fix one issue. And what we can do now is inside this view where we display the row and whatever, we can either give justify content to the flex end and align items flex end. So everything is going to start from bottom, right? And you know, let's give it a height. So height is going to be like 100. Okay. Whoop. So we have something here. The thing is that now you see is like everything is starting from here because it has height 0. And to avoid this type of overflow, we can actually add the interpolation, and we are going to interpolate from 0 to 1, but this time we are going to say, you know, the minimum size is going to start from avatar size and then go to whatever. So in this way we are going to have it okay-ish, I would say. And with the user score, because user score can be lower than the avatar size, we are going to say it's math max between this one and the avatar size. So we will always have it minimum avatar size, which is quite nice, I would say. So let's remove the red. We don't need it. And gold, you know, this is going to be RGBA 0000.1. Okay. And here we can also add the padding 1, padding 2. Okay, so padding yeah, you know, I don't need the padding, it's okay. And the border radius is going to be avatar size. Okay, cool. So now if I hit refresh, the problem is this one is the minimum one, and I would like to do avatar size plus a spacing and plus spacing as well. So I'll add the spacing now, so we can move it. Okay, and yeah, starting. Okay, that's actually quite nice. And for the image, I'll say aspect ratio. Okay, great. Last thing I would like to animate is, let's pick any index and change this background to a colored one. So here where we have this background and apply the styles, we can copy and edit inside the styles. We can say, you know, background color, if index it's equal to, let's say it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it's index it's 4, I would like to do some red color, otherwise just leave it as it is. So now we have changed this fifth item, and instead of red I can say interpolate, you know, interpolate color based on animation value, starting from input range is going to be 0 to 1, and the output range is going to be this RGBA, but I will apply it to gold. So if I hit save now and hit refresh, you'll see, ooh, this is animated. That's actually looking quite good. Maybe we can do turquoise. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Last but not least, let's render a text. So I'll have here inside thingy, I'll have a text. It's user.score. Okay, so it's here. And I would like to make it here above everything, but actually above everything. And this view should have align items to the center. And this text font size, let's say 7. Really small, and also font weight of 700. Great. But I would like to make those appear after half the animation was done, right? So I'll transform this to be an animated text and apply text styles. And text styles is going to be a useAnimatedStyle, and I'll return here an opacity, and I'll interpolate the animation value from 0 to 0.5 to 1 with 0, 0, 1 as output. So basically I'll make the opacity 0 until half of the animation, until 0.5, and from 0.5 to 1 I'm going to interpolate it. So if I hit save now, you'll see that the text is going to appear after once half of the animation was finished. I can also make this appear just when the animation kicked. I can also apply a different stagger. Let's say 100. Hit refresh. I can even make more. You see, it's like you have endless possibilities. See you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, be yourself. And don't forget to check out animate-react-native.com. It's the platform where I'm sharing all the animations that you have seen on my channel or any other animations. And of course, the source code for this particular animation is also available on animate-react-native.com. So if you are lazy like me and you just want to get the code and the source code, feel free to check animate-react-native.com. The link to this particular animation is linked down in the comments. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye guys.